Welcome to Pep Talks with Jeanne. I'm your host, Jeanne Pepper. I started doing Pep Talks as a way to inspire you to do intentional acts of kindness and to further the goals of Blaze It Forward. Since Pep Talks began, it has evolved, and now I use it to interview people actively making a difference in this world through their volunteerism, community service, or careers. My guests are all here because they have dedicated their lives to making this world a better place. Join us as we delve into the hopes, dreams, and aspirations of these truly inspiring and hardworking people. This season, we will be focusing on the quiet superheroes, the thoughtful, kind, and forward-thinking community-minded individuals that teach us about resiliency, abundance, and how we can turn trauma, tragedy, and life challenges into meaningful, intentional action to repair our world. Welcome to another episode of Pep Talks with Jeanne. Welcome back to Pep Talks with Jeanne. This is the first episode in our season 3, and we're so excited to be back in the studio, and we have a fantastic guest to start off our new season, Valerie Bailey.
Oh, that's so nice.
So glad you're here.
Happy to be here. It's exciting.
It is exciting. It's exciting for us because we don't oftentimes get people in our studio that are known for more than their philanthropy. And you are known for more than that. Do you want to tell our listeners why?
Well, I do so much. No, I'm kidding. When we met, I'll let you kind of describe it all. But I would say I'm known for my philanthropy and also singing and writing that I've done, with different artists and for different TV shows and things like that.
She's very humble. She's actually had a long career. It's hard. You wouldn't know that by looking at Valerie because she looks younger than me, a lot younger than me. I think you are a lot
older.
younger.
I'm sure I'm older.
I don't know if you are, honestly. So it's hard to tell. But I know that your husband was making music before I was born.
Yes.
And he's a tremendous artist who I have followed my whole life, Earth, Wind, and Fire. So we're going to name drop a little bit here. And we're going to name drop a little bit more because I had the good fortune of meeting you because I happened to be on the set of your good friend, Leanne Morgan. Yes.
Love her.
We love Leanne Morgan.
That's my impersonation. I love her.
I know. I've from what I've been able to get to know about her and the limited time I've spent with her on the set, she is so kind, so sweet, and such a hard worker.
I don't know why when I think about her, I just tear up because I guess she's such a humble person and I just think she deserves everything she has. And she's kind of like the epitome of someone who does something so well and great. And maybe you're not noticed, but then your time comes and you're noticed. And that time that you're noticed, it's not that it's been deferred, but it's your time. So all that she did to build it, from raising great kids and family and, sticking beside her husband and all that he did for their family to keep the family, together, and how she speaks about Chuck.
Yeah.
And what a great person he is. I just think that, Leanne is kind of the epitome of you can do something if you really want to, you put your mind to it and don't let things turn you away because of time. Don't always use a timeline as the reason.
You bring up a really important point, which is that just because we don't understand when the right time is for us to become something that people become aware of, and actually it's our time to shine, and we don't know when that's going to happen, but this was the right time. And it took her a long career to make it happen. So, I mean, it's quite inspirational that she stuck with it through all of the years it took her. She finally has, I think, the #1 show on Netflix. And we love it. I loved watching it being made. I may have been the person who was not in the crew that watched it the most while it was in production.
Oh, really?
Yes, because I went several times while it was being filmed in this first season. And I loved going because I couldn't watch it on TV if I wanted to know what was going to happen. I'd have to get in there again to
Right,
find
right,
out
right.
where the story was going, because it was really fun to watch. And
Yeah.
it's like watching live theater.
Right.
And that's the experience that you get on a set for a sitcom. And we don't have enough sitcoms anymore. They've all
know.
like the way that television has changed so much. There are so few of these like situational comedies that are an opportunity for people who maybe can't afford live theater or don't live near live theater to be able to see what it looks like and how entertaining it can be.
And done so well in the writing and
Exactly.
Laurie, Mr.
It's
Laurie.
so,
It's a lot.
It doesn't require tons of special effects or, it just requires good writing and great acting and great personalities, which they have it made with that. But we digress, because what we're really here for is to talk about the amazing work that you're doing. And as soon as I found out about your organization, I Found Me, I was thinking to myself, I need to get this woman on my show, because we've also worked with organizations that are helping veterans, such as Working Wardrobes, which we are going to be making a field trip there in the I Found Me bus.
That's gonna be fun.
And our followers and viewers will be able to see that bus and get a little tour, another tour. We've already done one, but we'll go back to Working Wardrobes, and we're going to do a tour with Valerie with fresh eyes. She's going to see the miraculous things that we can do to help people by just giving them the fishing pole to fish, or the clothing that they need to get a good interview and to get back into the workforce. It's, this is part of being a good citizen. When you live an abundant life, to be able to share that abundance with other people is such a gift. And I feel sorry for people that don't take advantage of their opportunities and their platforms to help others, because they're really missing out. They're missing out on an opportunity to really show their love for humanity and to change the world.
Yeah.
I think that's how we change the world, is
changing
our priorities and what's important.
Right.
And I think we lose sight of that, because there's so many other wonderful, fun things to do other than helping other people. But it's got to be balance in your life.
Yeah, but I think too, with helping other people, you mesh yourself with those people, and it's fun. You're not going to have some horrible time in doing something for something that's already great, that you're connecting yourself to. So it's not. I think sometimes people may think nonprofit means that it's something like, oh, it's so charitable of you, and you're going to this event or whatever. But I mean, charitable events I've gone to are fun and enlightening, and I've learned from them, from my friends who have organizations. My husband has a nonprofit that's called Music is Unity, where he helps kids who are aging out of foster care, and to do what they do thereafter. So I've gone to different events, and it's fun. They actually have the people, because they're not so much, I want to say kids all the time, but from teen to over 21, come backstage and watch Earth, Wind and Fire and see all the moving parts, and not just to be the entertainer all of the time. Because I think, like what you're saying, like people look at lives of entertainers or people who are in the limelight as, oh, I want to do that because I want to shine, I want to be looked at and on this pedestal. But there are there's more reasons. Reasons, Earth, Wind and Fire, there goes again the song. But there's way more reason to do great things. It doesn't have to be for you to shine, but it just so happens that when you connect yourself with someone who's amazing, then you do shine. And it works like that. And I watched one of your episodes, and Eli was interviewing you, and he was saying that y'all were talking about how your producer, Eli, let's say who that is.
Yes, he's great.
Yeah, he's amazing. And he was saying that it's like you're like a magnet. And when people are supposed to come together, they come together. So there's no real push or prodding. It's just like organic how we met. I just went to support Leanne Morgan at on the set of her show, which is amazing, on Netflix. And then I met you, and I met another wonderful lady, and it's like, hey, can
Ann
you do
Norman.
this? Yeah. So, you just meet some great people, and then great things happen.
It is interesting. I've come to believe that all of these things aren't really coincidences, that we are meant to meet with people, and the universe kind of pushes us together. And I've found that to be why so many connections that I've made with people are always so layered. And there's always, I bet if I quizzed you, we probably know people in common, because people that do this kind of work tend to end up in the same places at the same time.
Yeah. And you, like you were saying, you know, well, we were talking about I Found Me. Just as you're saying it, I'm seeing like another tentacle of it that, you know, I find myself as I continue to keep moving, but I just have to keep moving. And I'm learning more things about myself as I keep moving. And as I just thought, oh, this is great. I'm going to see Leanne. This is woo. You know, I was thinking it was just going to be a great day, a great show, which it was. And then the gentleman who was warming up the audience,
Mark.
He looked at me and I was like, don't ask me anything. You know, like, don't ask me to dance. It's not going to happen, because people were dancing for candy.
Yeah. I'm telling you. That
dancing
audience,
for sweets.
Yeah, that audience is sometimes more entertaining than the shows that I've seen in that in the studios.
Yes, they were. That one gentleman, I was like, give him room. Oh. He was amazing. But, you know, I said, oh, I sing. And he goes, oh, you sing? And then he went to ask me a few questions. And then I thought, oh, I'm going to sing part of I'm Every Woman, you know, because I know her connection with that.
I secretly recorded you.
Shh. Oh, you did? Oh, okay. So let me have that footage.
I know. I'm going to give it to you.
Let me have that footage.
I know. I couldn't resist. You were so incredible. I was like, this is unbelievable. I like started recording you. I couldn't. I'm like, this is definitely next level. And I heard you.
That's good. That's good. Look, now my producer, Barry Coughing, he'll be like, get that footage from her, Valerie. We need it. But I'll definitely grab that.
Yeah.
But that was fun. And then I sung a little bit of I Found Me. And then I was explaining to Anne also about how I Found Me helps veterans and those who are unhoused and, you know, basically follow their dreams. So when you think about that dream you had, that's usually the core of who you are. Some kind of way. You may not be really thinking about it, but it's like, it was embedded in you, like, you know, God made us for purpose. So if you kind of think about, like, it seems like a dream, you know, people say, oh, you're realizing your dream, but it's really realizing that, you know, you're realizing who you are, but you just have to keep making these steps and don't feel pressured by time or age or looks or, you know, what did I have earlier before I put this lotion on there? Dry knuckles, you know. You don't have to worry about these things. Like, you're putting too much on it. You're such an amazing person. So I know when I met you there, I thought, wow, this is like, I am the town crier. When I met you, I was like, this is so wonderful. And I just always think this person and what they're doing and actually what they went through, and then they decided to do this and they decided to share it so that other people can go, that's me. And that through others with I Found Me, I believe we find ourselves. That's kind of what the running theme I've seen is like when people hear the song, because there's a song attached to it that I wrote, you know, it says, I found out I was funny, I found out I was strong, and I found out so many things that were inside me all along. And I lost my sense of humor, I lost my confidence, and I lost myself along the way. No, it doesn't make much sense, but when I lost you, I found me. So it's basically, the song itself is talking about, you know, you can lose somebody, but you can find your strength within it.
Or even like any general loss. Like we lose so many things in life. I've found that to be the case, that you, at some point in your life, everything is building. And we have losses in our lives, all through our lives. But at some point, like in my life, things can go downhill really fast. You know, if you have a traumatic loss, and so many people as you get older will experience something like that in their lifetime. And you have to make that decision when it happens. Yeah. You're going to get back up again and keep going. Yeah. And, you know, this is just part of life. It's not always going to be perfect. And, you know, I thought I had the perfect life. I really did. I every day I'd wake up in the morning grateful. I thank God that I had my health and that I had such a beautiful life. And then one day I couldn't feel that way anymore because I had lost my dream when my son died. But you know, you make new dreams. And now my dream is to carry on his legacy so that we never forget him.
Right. And he's still connected to the dream.
He is.
And that is, you know, like you said, it was your nucleus and he was part of that. And then now, you know, it's, you know, you're still connected to him spiritually, and he's still, a part of your life. So it's like, it's just in, it's like you're walking into a new path, like a new light, a new path that is
Very
lit.
new.
And where is this going? Yeah.
Very new. It's, this is how the world works. Things don't always go the way that you thought that they would.
Mm-hmm.
And, it's your decision when things fall apart, how you put everything back together again. It doesn't have to be the same way.
Yeah.
But you have to get up and keep going.
Yeah.
This is a story of resiliency. And I want my listeners to understand that part of why I do this is when it happened to me, I looked at people that had been resilient and who had overcome. And I knew that I had to be one of those people because I knew it could happen because I saw it happen my whole life. I've been around Holocaust survivors. I've known many of them. And I know that, in my culture, being part of the Jewish culture, it's not unusual to have Holocaust survivors in your family. So, it's just kind of built into us that we have to be resilient and we have to keep going. And so but I want to share that message with everyone. It shouldn't just be something for me. It should be, everybody should understand that there is a way forward. Mm-hmm. And it sounds like you've found your way forward also.
Yeah. And I had this little, I first did a little, my first little song that I put out, and I was like, oh, this is great. I'm going to, have a little tagline that says, you're trying to sound cool and, musical and, oh, everyone will like this. And I put, the way out is through, and it's really true. If we want to get out of this room, we can bore a hole, we can go through a window, we have this window, we have to just make a choice of how we're going to get out of this. But it's a good thing when we being connected and you have a community that you can say, help me, and so I guess that would be a good prayer to just pray for our friends that they would ask for help when they need help, because we can lose ourselves through loss and we can lose ourselves through just aging and body changing, and I know these things. And loose shirt.
I can't tell,
right?
But if you say so.
Right, like, this is a wide shirt. But it's just good to know, that what you're standing for is great, that you are trying to blaze a path and literally think of something blazing and continuing. I just see, his face and movement, like in a fire just going. So that would be my prayer, maybe that, within you, there would be that fire that would keep blazing. And just the fact that you and I met and we're connected. So now we can just move. I would just say, okay, oh God, what is the thing we're supposed to be doing? And it doesn't always have to be, and this is something I want to say to a listener who's thinking about music or industry or being in the limelight. You don't always have to be the face of something, because you can be the heart of it.
So true.
Look at the heart.
Yeah, right?
She didn't tell me to say that either. I knew it was there.
Yeah.
But it's just, I think it's great that we are blessed to continue to live. So I just say, okay, Lord, what do you want me to do today? How do you want me to say whatever I say? I have a little mantra, like, that's actually a new one. That rhyme too. But, just asking God. So I'm not getting in the way of myself.
Right.
But yeah, so I love the fact that, from a song he gave me to then saying, hey, with this bus that you now have, and I've always liked RVs and the Barbie country camper. I'm aging myself, but these I've just always thought it would be great to travel and do something like road trip, like girl trip.
Let's do it.
Yeah, so now I think this is just the beginning. The bus that I remember looking at it and I was kind of looking around on it. Like, oh, this is cool. Oh, there's a sink on it, because it's a small, like one of the shorter 6-window school buses. But then I said, the young lady who had it used it for doing spa treatments and going to people's homes. So I was like, oh, I could do Bible studies on here. That would be cool. I can just go from house to house. And then I thought about, connecting it to and creating, I Found Me as an organization that helps the unhoused and veterans and just people who need a hand just for the moment, and not, so much wanting something, just a hand,
Yeah,
even if it's just to hold or just a hug, and if I travel in the bus, I can say, hey, we're going to Creating Justice LA. We're going there, and we're going to speak to the people who are unhoused. It's a coffee shop downtown that Nickelodeon actually built on the inside. It looks like a Starbucks. And it's amazing. They have a stage, they have open mic night, and people can just walk in, and it's off of Skid Row, a few blocks away. But it's a great place where people are looking, go, what's happening in here? And anybody's allowed to come in. And
that's so interesting. Is it near Mocha?
I don't know where Mocha is. It's on, look at me, what is the street? 5th? And yeah, it's off of 5th, like going up.
Yeah.
And, but it's a great place. My friend Ko and, why is his name? What do you call it? Escaping me. It'll come to me. He's got a cool sounding name. I'll think of it. But they both run it. And,
so you take your bus to this coffee house.
Yeah.
That's a very cool, eclectic, and very inviting place.
Yeah.
Okay. That Nickelodeon built in downtown. Okay.
Yeah.
We'll get the name of that. And,
yeah.
But let's go back a little bit. Let's unwind. You just brought up a lot of really interesting things. First of all, you've got a bus. So I Found Me has a bus, and we are going to go see that bus. We couldn't see it today, unfortunately, because it had some issues. But we have a plan, and we are going to bring Pep Talks to the bus.
Yeah.
And we're going to get a tour, and we're going to talk more about what Valerie does with this bus, and maybe our listeners will come up with some more ideas for things that we could do with the bus, because it sounds like it's something, it's just got a lot of potential to help a lot of people. So I think it's very exciting.
Yes.
So we've got the bus, and not only do we have a bus, but we've got Valerie, who is a very spiritual person. The reason you wanted the bus, you said you were thinking about using it for Bible study. I mean, that's really, really forward thinking, because I think that we really need that now. We need people that want to be more spiritual and want to talk about how we repair the world and how we have love for each other and kindness and community. And I think that religion plays a really big part in that. And people aren't as religious as they used to be.
Yeah, it's just, it's so amazing how, it's not like we walk on and go, are you a Christian? It's not even that. It's like there's a little pillow I have on there. It says, this is a safe place. So if you want to talk, if you just want to sit there.
I love that.
And you don't want to say anything. I don't need to know your story. You just want to, you see the curtains blowing, like, oh, can I just sit here? Can I push this chair back? Not a problem. So, I Found Me basically wants to help people find themselves and follow their dreams and change things that they may want to change or not. Because some people, I've dealt with those who are unhoused and given them things they may need. And, I thought, let me find a little hotel.
I think I need to go with you in the bus and do one of these meet and greets.
Yeah.
Can we do it together?
Yeah. I'm excited about going to.
We're going to go to Working Wardrobes.
Yep. And then we can. So see, my plan is, and actually now you're putting yourself in we just have to get your tour date.
Oh, yes.
It's kind of like doing a bus tour.
I think we should do it. And we're going to have our producer Eli with us. He's going to film the whole thing. And we're going to have some incredible footage of us actually finding out people's stories and getting curious about why do people end up unhoused? Why do people end up without hope?
Yeah. And if you are, that's okay. We're not trying to put you anywhere. We're not trying. Did you need something? Oh, we have a little, a bag of this or that. And what I'm doing actually, like sometimes people say, oh, I have some t-shirts. They're brand new. That's not the space I'm coming from of giving them things and then, sending them away. Yeah. It's more so the things that I have hoarded, that I have literally, it's too much. Yeah. And God has just shown me these things. You need to fill me with this space. So take these things, all this excess you have, and give it away.
Oh, that's beautiful.
So there's no.
They can have my stuff too. I'm bringing.
You know what I mean? It's like we have enough stuff. We can do this for the rest of our lifetime. But just the stuff, and it's like, is it coming out of the floor?
But doesn't it feel better to just give it away than to keep it? And I kind of feel like now when I go shopping, it's like I don't need to take it home. I just know, as long as I know where it is. So if I do want to go get it, I know where it is. So that's the fun of shopping. But I don't need to actually take it with me and put it in my collection of things that I can't wear because I have too much stuff.
Yeah, it's a stuff thing.
It's a stuff thing.
KO, who I was telling you about, why can't I think of? I'm not even going to say the name that I'm thinking because it's so wrong, and he'll laugh at me if I say it. That his partner in the business, bam, I got it.
Oh, Pastor
Q.
Okay, so let's go back now to what you wanted to talk about having to do with the bus and Pastor Q.
Yeah, so connecting with him and KO downtown in their coffee shop that Nickelodeon built, coming down, having there's a open mic night every Thursday. It's off of Skid Row. It's beautiful. People come in. I have a rack of clothes there. We sit, chat, and then I also have clothes on the bus. So it's a whole thing where, open the doors and let people just walk on and sit. There's a nice, cool electronic chair. And so, just kind of circling back to I Found Me, that's what it's about, helping those who are unhoused, realize their dream. It's a big part of it because sometimes people just help somebody, give them a bag and go. But if you have something that you want to do, I may be able to help you. It's not because, I've sung with this Whitney and Celine and that makes me be able to help you. No, it's like, I have this bus and it moves. And what do you need? Like, I just need to go downtown and do this paperwork. Okay, so we'll get a date to do that.
You help people do paperwork to get aid.
Mm-hmm. Well, because my thing, I really like it loose. So it's not like someone's coming for paperwork and then asking me, and I don't know that big bubble of that. But that we we kind of just lead them in the direction of this is where you go get your help. But while you're here, you can sit, relax. We're not going to judge you. We're not going to ask you questions about your life or your livelihood. But if you do need something, you can open up the carrot closet where it's clothes in there. Mm-hmm. Nice things. You might even see this in there one day.
Oh, wow. I'm coming.
Chase the bus, chasing the bus down the street.
Chasing the bus down the street.
But yeah, it's just great that, like I was saying with the song talks about finding yourself through loss. And as I continue to think of the lyrics, it says, the bridge says, I know that I'm more than half a person and no one on this earth is incomplete, but I let myself be blinded by devotion. And sometimes we devote ourselves to things. And it took some time alone to help me see. So that's our eyes are open sometimes when we're by ourselves.
Yeah, that would be, I think a lot of women could probably relate to that as well. Women that, like me, who gave up careers or gave up part of themselves to, raise a family, get married, to, support their husband's work or, their partner's work, whatever that may be. Yeah. And then, a time may come where you feel like you've lost your way or you've lost what made you more than just a caretaker.
Yeah. And like the lyric says, when I lost you, it doesn't have to be from, someone transitioning, passing away. But when someone goes away, a relationship ends. Right. It's like, now I know that I'm strong. I can do this. I found out I was funny. I found out I was strong. I found out so many things that were inside me all along, but I just had to separate myself from you to figure that out. And it doesn't have to be so negative. It could just be, a relationship had ran its course. Yeah. And now you realize, man, all that time I was spending being the soccer mom or this and that, or all this time I was helping my, buddy build his business and I had ideas and they were maybe shirking or, nah. You find yourself so... I just, the thing we try to do is just let people know, let it happen now, that, tomorrow's not promised and you've got some great things within you. So if we just sit around and speak, we'll probably see how we're more alike and we'll find things out that we have more in common than not.
I think it's about connection. One thing I've noticed is that it's really easy to not see people when you're not near them or when you don't know them. So it's really easy for people, that live in places like I do here in Irvine, where we don't really have much of a homeless population. So it's easy to live here and not think about it. Mm-hmm. But the truth of the matter is that when we have proximity to people that are unhoused, it makes us care. And it makes us understand that these people do exist and that they need help. And they're everywhere. There are unhoused people everywhere. And that's one thing that I learned even at the Working Wardrobes Gala last year. One of the employees was the keynote speaker and talked about how before he was interviewing for the job at Working Wardrobes, he was living in his car and he had to live in the car for a couple of weeks while he worked there because he was unhoused and he needed just to work. He wanted to work.
Right. And that's great that he wanted to work.
He wanted to work.
It's we're not going to say par for the course, but it's normal. It's a normal thing. Like someone can still be a normal person and live in someone else's backyard, or just stay overnight on weekends, but they have to go live in the park during the week. It's the world just moves differently. So there's no way we should be, frowning upon people, because somewhere in someone's story, your story's somewhere in there. We're more alike than not, I would say.
Yeah, that's so true. And you'll see that, like, what's the difference between you and a person that's unhoused is sometimes it's not a lot.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't take much, especially this world is so harsh these days.
Yeah.
It can be such a harsh reality. And it doesn't take much sometimes for people to lose housing. And then it's so hard to get back in. Once you've lost it, it can be impossible.
And that's the part where we, helping veterans, gain housing. And then, my father was a veteran, and something that we learned was, like, people aren't really helping. As they say, as you see on TV, like, hi, I'm da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah.
This is for this, and you can pay this and make this much, and you'll get this insurance. And it's like, but no one's really saying, this is a difference between all three. Not just you're only calling one company and getting them to sound great. Or you go to a facility to put your loved one in there, and then that's the best one. That's the one that they said was the best one. But it's not the best caregivers. So then you have to walk through that. So it's like,
yes.
And who can you call to say, are these the top three? Is the top one the person who paid for that space?
Yes.
It's like, okay, what's really, so you have to walk through things. But I know with my father, I just learned, wow, you did this work for the United States Air Force. You did a great job and family and raising us and building up everything. And now we're kind of like shuffling, trying to figure out what's the trueness of what is given to us from, being a veteran. What are you really supposed to receive?
What are the benefits of military service? A lot of people don't understand that.
And how do we get them?
My family's gone through the same thing. My father is a veteran, and we have him in 24/7 care right now. And I've asked my mom 100 times, Mom, did you ever contact the VA? And she's like, well, I don't really know. I don't know, how to do it. And they don't really answer my questions when I call. And I'm like, oh, you got to be kidding me. So, we still don't know, like, if my dad's entitled. We've been paying for care for my dad for a few years and still don't know if there's anything out there for him. There could be, but, families get so overwhelmed too. They just want to find a good place for their parent, and they're not willing to wait to see if they can get inferior care through a government-assisted program,
Which I've seen, where I checked some places out there where my family lives, and, I'm like, is that a little bait station, inside of the facility? And she goes, oh, yes, we have a little issue with them. I was like, okay, let me just let her finish. And then, no, that's not going to work. But I want to be, and this is something that we're doing within the organization, be the person to help people to see, where do I go? What do I do to get care for my parent?
Yeah.
Opposed to just clothes. It's like, no, care.
Yes. So that's a really vital, very helpful. And that's something they do at Working Wardrobes as well. They help people figure all of that out. And they teach people how to give a good business interview and how to dress and how to conduct themselves. It's like, there's so much that goes into getting back into civil society, to becoming part of the workforce. That's a big step for a lot of people. Yeah,
that's a lot. So maybe we can connect with that Working Wardrobes. And,
I think it'd be great. So your father was a veteran, and that was kind of the impetus for you to want to help veterans. Is that right? Is that what?
Yeah, it just became, I learned that through helping unhoused people, just driving to where they are and giving them things and sharing with them, and maybe sitting and speaking about their story, and maybe not. That's one thing I kind of push. You don't have to tell me your story.
Yeah.
Just let me know what your need is, your immediate need. And then when my father became ill, and then he transitioned a couple of years ago, but along the way, when we were dealing with trying to get the right care, like, what do we really have? And it's like, wait, hearing aids, oh, you can't get them until another how many months? All the things, like, you realize when you're, caring for someone who happens to be a veteran, where you're thinking, oh, they're veterans, so everything's taken care of. That's what you kind of, but no, it's like, what did he say that he wanted long ago? And so I would just admonish people who know they have an elderly parent to, that's something that, needs to be figured out, what type of insurance you have now, what type of care that he signed up for with your insurance, whatever insurance.
Some people have long-term health care insurance.
And some people have it where some people think like, it pays for the facility.
And usually they don't cover a whole lot unless you paid a lot of money for that insurance.
Yeah. And you thought about it, so those, I just say to, when folks ask that question, they were like, okay, do you have paperwork? Okay, well, let me show you where you go to look this up in the system to see what is owed to you, or what type of insurance you really have, opposed to you just go, I'm a veteran, but there's types of insurance that you pay for. What you're like hearing aids, like my dad, was eligible for hearing aids, but it's only a certain time of year. And then after that time is up, then you can keep those if they're working, but you can upgrade,
And like a cell phone.
Right. You can upgrade so you can hear, communicate.
Yeah. Well, this is really important. This is like very basic, but quality of life issues.
Yeah. And a free phone. You can get a free phone with like the big numbers on it and a voicemail, and it speaks.
Oh, I need that.
Yeah. Right. These are great for us. Great things. All great things.
Yeah. Wow. All very good stuff. Okay. So we talked about the I Found Me organization that you're part of. And is there anything else that we need to know about this organization? Like, do you have volunteers that work with you?
What I'm doing now is actually, I guess I'm doing it as we speak. I'm finding myself as I'm doing this. And, I'm not really asking for, I need this and we need this and we need this. It's just as I've gone through, just like, I was saying, standing on that bus and going like, how do I even start looking for a bus? I have to sit still and think how this all began. But, it's just basically now it's me loading my things and my stuff that has weighed me down and giving those things away so that I can see the empty space around and what I'm supposed to be doing beyond being a singer. Yeah. And so I've found that where, and like I say, I think in just letting the days go by and just being thankful for the next day that we get, that's my prayer. Like, Lord, help me find what I'm supposed to be doing for you and others. The Bible says you're supposed to make disciples of men. So teach others, and, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. If you need help somebody, but I'm finding I have to be more still, but being still and just not moving or talking so much that you see, like someone came to my home to fix something and then he brought someone with him. And I was like, ooh, I really don't, when people knock on the door, I don't answer the door pretty much, you know what I mean? It's not like, welcome. Today it's just crazy. But he asked, could he have somebody help him? I go, no, because I'm just kind of getting to know you. So let's do that first. But she was still with him, but she didn't come inside to do the work. And then I had the bus right there. Mm. So I'm like, instead of thinking of, I don't want someone to help you because we're just building this relationship of, you doing some things for me. And instead of making her feel like an outsider, she was standing there and I was like, I'm sitting here on the bus and the back door was open and the care closet is right there. It's like, okay, give her some of these clothes, because he said she decides if she wants to live indoors or outdoors. So I was like, oh, do you need anything? And she was like, no. And then, maybe 5 minutes later, I was like, well, you take a look. I can show you some things. And then she was like, I like that. I like that. I like that. So she took some things. And then, I was like, well, she's here. This is it. This is the, helping her find herself, helping her get her needs met, give her these things. And then I thought, oh, maybe she can do this for me. And she did that. And then, I paid her. So I'm thinking, hey, this is what it is. Just the giving of it.
Yeah, it's an abundant way of living because you helped her and you also gave her work to do, which made her feel like she was contributing.
Yeah, instead of just, I didn't hand her money. And he said she likes to work. So I'm like, I didn't look at her in any other fashion than, oh, well, let me see what she can do. Because if she likes that. It's not like I'm trying to ask her to do something she doesn't want to do.
Yep.
So it just like rung in my mind, like, okay, right, God, right. Like, hello, she's standing right here. Do what I found me does.
And that's like a really great thing. And something that my listeners probably can connect with you on that is that, if you see somebody that looks like they could use some help and you are able to do something and you have the time, it makes you feel good.
You got to slow down to see it.
Yeah.
And don't, I thought about myself first because I was like, okay, no, I don't want anybody to come in my house and help you do something. I don't even know this person.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think that's valid.
In this day and age, it's like probably a very good idea.
Right.
To be very careful about who you let into your home.
Yeah, for sure. And then I'm thinking, well, she's standing right here, but I'm not, wisely, I'm not going to ask her to do what the other person to come there to do. Yeah. But I was like, what can she do to help? And it's like, sometimes you do have to come out of that space of being like, what is somebody going to, like, someone's going to take something from me, like, relax.
Yeah, you know what? That's fear. And fear and love, I think, are on the opposite ends of the spectrum.
And they can't exist at the same
exist together.
space.
But, it's really a great example of how, if we want to repair the world, we have to stop living in fear. And we have to start living abundantly like you did. Like you were able to give love.
Yeah, it's
you
just
were
like,
able
relax,
to you were able to turn that around.
But you just said, it's, you're doing something out of love. However, I know that I'm thinking of protecting myself. You think, and then it's like, but how can you?
This world makes us fearful. This reality makes us fearful.
Work.
We live in a reality where we're always afraid that someone's going to take something from us,
right.
either our things or our life or whatever,
right. It's
our
like,
freedom. But we're always afraid of losing things instead
right.
of living abundantly and saying, you know what, I don't need anything. I just need to coexist in a place where everybody is respectful of each other and caring.
Right.
That's it. If we lived in a world where we all shared everything, we wouldn't need to be afraid about people taking our stuff anymore. Right?
Exactly.
You
Share.
could live without locks on your doors. You didn't have to worry about people taking your things because we wouldn't need to if we just shared everything. So it's hard. It's a hard thing because, like, I remember in college when, I thought I could live abundantly and people would use my stuff and not put it back. And that was the beginning of
it's like, this is different.
Yeah. It's like you want to share, but it takes everybody being on the same page. And I think that we have a responsibility as people that live abundantly to show people how it's a better way to live. It's a preferred way, and that if we want to have a world that's abundant, we have to show as an example what that looks like.
Yeah.
And I think you're doing a really incredible job of it. It's a great story of helping someone.
I just, like you said, just being able to help, and then, for other people to see, oh, just because you have this doesn't mean you're that. And that's good or bad, just because people think, oh, I saw your car. Oh, okay. But it's like, it's actually not my car. Like, oh, so we're always looking at the visual of what we see.
Right.
And, oh, you have this and this. It's like, but I'm also in debt. Like, oh, I didn't know.
Yeah.
They're looking at the outside. So, but once you sit with people like how we're doing and how we met in that space of, the sweetest person,
right.
Leanne, just like Hart,
yes.
Miss Hart. And then
yes.
it's like, oh, well, obviously her friends are probably going to be pretty awesome people too, but
think.
you don't realize it. I mean, I didn't think that, I'm going to meet someone.
Yeah, you don't think about it, but you never know. I'm always open. I'm open to, because, those connections that I make with people that are not within my, general box here.
Uh-huh.
I think those are really important connections, because otherwise I'm just preaching to the choir. I'm just preaching to my friends.
Right.
I need to be able to reach farther than that if I actually want to be able to make an impact.
Yeah.
And I do. I mean, I was just trying to explain that to somebody in PR that, like, they were asking me, why aren't you doing more to promote yourself? And I said, because for me, I'm not in it to win it. I'm just here to be a voice for change. I'm not making money off of this. I haven't yet. I mean, it would be great because then I could share that with other people. I would love that. But that's not why I'm here.
Right.
So that's why I haven't invested a lot of money in PR. But I think that organically, when the time is right, just like with Leanne, this podcast and the message of this podcast will hit. Mm-hmm. It will hit, and it's going to take a lot of really great, abundant people like you that will make that happen, make it a reality. And I have faith.
Yep.
When the time is right, it will happen. And maybe our society isn't ready for it yet.
But I think they're ready.
I think they're
I
ready
think
for
they're hungry
something.
and thirsty. They just don't know where the well is. So
You're so
we
right
happen
about
to
that.
be
That's
the
right.
space. And I think people think because, okay, ooh, look at that ring. It's shining. Like, bro, I got this from TJ Maxx. Hey, do I get a plug for TJ Maxx? But you know how people think because something's shining on you that it costs a lot. But it's like you got to go into the inside of a person, but you're not going to get to that unless you get close to them.
That's right.
So you have to decide, like you were saying, okay, fear or love. Like, okay, the girl's standing right here. Am I thinking like, oh, she knows where I live, and he shouldn't have brought her over here? And
Yeah.
it's like she's here. And remember, you have angels. God is protecting you.
Look at that.
You can't be scary.
Look at that.
You know,
Look
so
at that thought process that you used your spirituality to bring you back to love.
Yeah,
away from fear.
Because when I was standing there looking at her, because I was sitting up on the bus, and then I looked at her little, you know, she's a woman,
Right.
but I was just seeing the in her face the vulnerability,
Yeah.
and the things, a multiplicity.
But
I think
you
that's
had
right
to
to
make
say that.
yourself vulnerable.
And I was
When you
like,
opened the
ooh.
door to her, you made yourself vulnerable also.
So-
Which was a really, I think that's part of the humanitarianism that I love looking at, that about the challenges that we face and the decisions that we make. That was a decision you made in that moment, that you were not going to let fear guide you. You let love guide you. Congratulations. No.
We're just all the same. I just pictured you and I wearing what we wore as kids, like whatever that was. It might be like, you may go, ooh, you don't want to, or, you know, and we weren't judging each other. We were just like, let's get on our bicycles.
I never thought
or
about
whatever.
that. I
you
never
know,
thought about
I just pictured us.
His
So maybe
children are pure love.
Yeah.
They haven't learned fear
they're
yet.
not like going, where'd you get that shirt from?
They haven't learned to be afraid.
Yeah.
And we teach our children to be afraid, don't we?
Yeah,
I mean, I
that's
know
true.
I was always so afraid for my son because he was small and he was bullied all the time. And, you know, I always was afraid. And you know, I don't want to live in a world where we have to be afraid that our children will be bullied or killed because of how they came out of the oven.
Right.
You know?
I
mean,
so but it's good now. It's so great that the great things that you were doing, it's wonderful. So I'm glad that we're connected, and now I'm part of your community.
thank you. I'm so glad you're here.
I just say, you know, I just picture myself in a little T-shirt and the little things my mom used to. We did match. My mom did have us looking like.
I bet
know.
you were clean and neat and adorable.
But you know, like when
Yeah.
you're outside playing with your friends, you got your dirty sneakers on and you're just your fun clothes, and you know. That's what I just see you and I as just being like normal people. You know, I put on my little shiny thing, which I got at a discount. I'm always getting a discount. Look to me for a discount.
Shopping math. You save so much money.
Shopping math? Is
Yeah.
that
Now
what it
you
is?
now you go on and spend the rest that you save somewhere else.
Right now, what do I do with what I saved?
Look at all the money I saved. Now we need to go shopping again.
Let's eat. No, but yeah, it's. I have so many things, and I took a picture. I put a picture on Facebook the other day, and I go, I look mad, and then people were saying certain things, and a friend of mine said, no, you look cool. I said, it looks like I'm trying to be cool. Like, yeah, right. And then I had these clear glasses on, and I have a lot. So if you see me, ask for them. Not these, though.
That's amazing.
No, but, and usually I give if somebody, okay, I shouldn't say this. Sometimes when someone asks for something, I'll give it to them because I'm thinking,
I've done that before also.
you know, like,
Yeah.
you're helping me here. But someone asked for the glasses. So I told her, okay, I'll send them to you. I'll bring them to you because I'll see you in October. But I have way too much stuff. So like I said, with I Found Me, I'm just thankful that I can help other people like kind of realize their dreams first. Because sometimes you don't even realize it. And then I can point you to where you can get help. And then the place I think that, you know, how the inception of this is God showing me, you need to find yourself because you're doing too much. You're all over the place. You need to get order and all this stuff. You need to get rid of it because why do you have this many of the same thing? I mean, they all look different, but who can live without that? You've seen many people. I did a mission trip in Bali. I've done, you know, mission trips in the city and things.
Oh,
and it's
fabulous.
like you see people living without. So it's like, this is way excess.
Yeah.
But the key of it, I think, is, you know, God is showing me the things, they meant something to you. Like, look, this is like totally, look at my new magazine. You know, like, and this beautiful person on the front.
Oh, yeah.
You know, seriously, like I'll have a thing and then I'd be like, this was like $20, only $20. And then I put it somewhere. And then I see something else like, that is so cute. And now I'm stacking. And it's like, am I really using it? You can't even see it. Where is the...
I know.
So...
I really love
Give it
this.
away.
I think like what I'm hearing you say is that we're so busy collecting, we're so busy accumulating, we're so busy working hard, earning money so that we can have more things, and we're missing the point. And you have realized that in order to actually find you underneath all of these things, you had to get rid of them.
Underneath, yeah, because I see myself even
you
with
get so
the stuff's all
covered
around you, but once you get light, you get air.
Exactly. Like, and that's like a really great lesson for a lot of people. Need to hear that in order to find yourself, sometimes you need to stop worrying about all this materialism and worry about what's underneath all of it. That's what we need to be working on.
And the why, what you're hiding from. Because I said, okay, what am I hiding from? I'm hiding from who I really am. And it's like, are you really that person who just needs to shine all the time? Shiny, shiny. It's like, so what are you trying to say? What are you covering? It's like, oh, okay, right. So what I'm covering is the need to be loved. Like, I want love, and I want it a certain way, but I'm not asking for it. So until I ask for it, I'll probably continue in this spiral,
Yeah.
So
because
I just
sometimes
realized
we're afraid to ask for the things we need.
I think so many people are afraid to ask for so many things.
Yeah. And there it is again, that fear. Like, we live with these ideas that aren't right, that we need to be afraid of even like asserting ourselves. And like you were saying, we didn't get to it in this interview, but we're going to get to it about the Me Too. So many women
dealt with that.
And I could also be part of this group, and I started out as a young lawyer. I had to work in conditions sometimes where I would never want my daughter to work in the environment that I worked in. I wouldn't want her to feel like a second-class citizen that had to put up with that kind of nonsense in the workplace in order to keep her job and to advance. I wouldn't want that for her.
Right.
And I know that I was probably paid less because I was a female. I'm sure that the male associates made more money than I did. And that has to stop. That's all part of it. And we're going to have a panel. I'm going to bring it back, and we're going to do a Me Too panel. Yeah. But we're going to actually bring Valerie back, and we're going to bring her back with the magic bus, the I Found Me bus.
Yes.
And we're gonna actually go do some do-gooding that day with that bus. We're gonna go to Working Wardrobes, and we're gonna go. I think we're gonna go up down to Santa Ana, here in Orange County.
That'd be great.
And I think that we could really change some lives together, and that's what we're here for. So thank you for joining us today. I have the beautiful Valerie Bailey here with us in our studio. It's been such a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you.
And I'd like to, with your permission, to play your song, I Found Me, full length. And we're going to put in that all kinds of pictures and video outtakes, so that while people are listening to your beautiful song, they'll be able to watch some really interesting photographs from your life, from us meeting each other on the set of Leanne, and lots of other goodies. I've even got some video footage of you singing. So I'm going to share that with you. And it's been great having you. Thank you.
Yay.
Thank you so
my
much.
last little thing I'd want to say to everybody is just kind of realize that you are so much more than you really know. And there's so much within you. And the way that I found out what was inside of me, of getting rid of all the noise and the things, to see that, like the lyrics of the song says, I found out I was funny. I found out I was strong. I found out so many things that were inside me all along. You'll find yourself. You will find yourself. I think we can find ourselves if we just are searching and we get rid of the outside noise. And, I just prayed, like, Lord, help me. And I really saw, all these things you're compensating. So get rid of those things, and you'll have space to breathe, and you'll have space to really see what I'm trying to do. And I think this is all part of it. So thank you for having me.
It was our pleasure.
Appreciate it.
Blaze It Forward is a campaign my family started in 2018 after our son Blaze was murdered. Blaze It Forward provides the inspiration to thousands of people to repair the world with intentional acts of kindness. If you would like to learn more about Blaze and how you can make a difference, check out www.blazebernstein.org or join our Facebook group at #BlazeItForward. You can also check out my website for this podcast at www.PeppTalksWithJeanne.com. There you can follow along with my podcasting adventures and learn more about my fascinating guests and their passion projects. I would like to thank all of the volunteers who help make my philanthropic endeavors a reality. Today that includes my producer, Eli Moskowitz, all of the volunteer crew members who join us, and a special thank you to my son, Jay Bernstein, for the original theme song you hear at the beginning and ending of each show. This has been another episode of Pep Talks with Jeannie. Until next time, keep on making this world a better place.